I fucking hate the Lions, bro. I understand that I have a reputation for calm and reasonable analysis. This team doesn't deserve that. When the Lions lost to the Commanders, I started applying to jobs in other cities. I was ready to get the fuck out of here. I couldn't fathom the nonsense that we are always being put through with this godforsaken fucking franchise. I couldn't believe we keep going through this shit. I was gonna do this video outside in the snow so you can see what we deal with, so everybody understands why this city and why these teams in Detroit piss me off so fucking much. I literally go outside and it's fucking below freezing. There's snow everywhere. It's looking like the last level of hell from Dante's Inferno, and that's my life for 6 months of the goddamn year. And then I thought, okay, I took too long to make this video. The season's coming out soon. Let me go to a football field and do it at a football field. However, as a 26-year-old, I have no business being on any high school campus doing anything. Okay, so we're back here, and I was gonna bring props and like break shit during it, but I got busy, and then this summer tried to kill me. So now we're back inside. I didn't even choose to be a Lions fan. I'm trapped. My love for the Lions is genuinely a mental illness. Why couldn't I just be an Arizona fan? For me to ever love the Lions again, they have to win 2 Super Bowls or at least beat Mahomes in the Super Bowl. I had to watch the whole world suck this team off. Meanwhile, we're playing like dog shit. Okay, fantastic. We can beat the Titans by 50. You want to know something? Everyone should be beating the Titans by 50. The most interesting thing about the Titans, the only reason it was fun to watch the Titans is just because their QB sucks so bad that it was entertaining to just watch him be a meme every week. My team went 15-2 and couldn't fucking beat Washington. Look, no disrespect to JD5, but that team was not that fucked. They were not as good as we made them look. My defense couldn't stop a fucking nosebleed. I understand we had 15 or whatever defensive injuries, and I'm not asking to win every fucking year, but could we at least not choke? Could we not choke on cock every fucking year? Could we lose to teams that just outplay us? Why do we outplay ourselves every year? 4 interceptions. I'm sorry. 4 turnovers, Jared Goff. One of them being a pick 6. Can no one stop this guy? Why could not a singular soul? Why did he just have a free route to the end zone for another 6 points? Can anyone decipher this for me? And there were people saying, well, he probably caught a concussion or something. But the only reason he was put in that situation where he needed to block was because he threw an interception in the first place before the concussion. And then it was a fucking pick 6. Can we please trade away Jared Goff? Our offense could be run by a pigeon-toed monkey. Vikings, please. Look, Vikings. Hear me out. Straight up trade Jared Goff for JJ McCarthy. I don't think that's ridiculous.
It's not ridiculous. That's not ridiculous to say that.
I don't think that's ridiculous. Yeah, that didn't age well. Forgive me. I recorded that back in August. New trade idea. Give us Stafford back. Thank you, please. I miss him. You get a guy that's lost the Super Bowl, and we get a guy that Michigan actually loves. Because my boy JJ, he's good in the streets. Sorry, he's done so much for me. He's done more for Michigan sports than any Michigan team has done in like 20 years. The Pistons won in 2004. In 21 years, the Lions as an organization, we're already chokers. We don't need Goff, who was also a choker, to be running any more shit. Fuck, I'd rather lose every fucking game with Stafford back. Stafford leaves this piece of shit franchise and wins a Super Bowl immediately. Then I gotta hear, oh, the Lions will be back next year. We could do it again next year. Look, if we couldn't get it done with Ben Johnson and Aaron Glenn and the best O-line in fucking football, newsflash, we aren't getting it done. I was so mad last year when we had the easiest path to a Super Bowl and still couldn't win, 14 points up on the 49ers. And then in the offseason, I watched my whole division get harder overnight. And then this year, my whole division does great. 3 of the 4 go to the playoffs. Then all year, they're top. NFC North, strongest division in football. We got the Vikings. We got the Lions. We got the Packers. Hardest division in football. Strongest division in football. And together, we have 0 playoff wins. We're the fraud division. Our division is frauds. The hardest division in football. Ooh, bad boys over here, bro. Suck my dick. Hardest division in football. Didn't win a single fucking playoff game. None of us. The Bears weren't in the playoffs. You know how many playoff games the Bears won? The same amount. I stayed home on the couch. You want to know how many playoff wins I have? The same amount. When we said to the Vikings, see you in 2 weeks, you know where we saw them? Cancun. Now Ben Johnson became our top fucking op as well. Hey, Ben, you didn't finish the job over there with the best tools in the NFL. You're not going to get the job done over there. Just want to let you know. Not that I even blame Ben Johnson for leaving and going over there after what the fuck Jared Goff just put him through. And the fact that last year he was interviewing for the Washington position and then decided to stay with us to try and get some bling, try to get a ring, right? And what did we give Benny Boy? 4 turnovers and lost by double digits to a rookie quarterback at home after being the number 1 seed in our division. And this is the team people are saying to be afraid of. Oh boy. I know he's pissed as fuck having to look at Jared Goff throw 4 interceptions while he's looking at JD5 and he's like, that could have been my QB. No interceptions. That game. And he was even throwing some shade at Goff in the offseason.
It was a dime. It was better than some other people. Right. Jared Goff. He's pretty darn good, though.
But it's also nuts how immediately after we lost that game, it's just announced that he's the next head coach for the Bears. Like, that's fucking ridiculous. I can't really be mad at Ben Johnson for knowing what I already knew 2 years ago, and that was that Jared Goff can't get it done. Ben Johnson's play calling was literally our offense as the Detroit Lions. So losing him is losing. I don't know why everyone is acting like that's not a thing. Like losing him wasn't a big deal. And then Aaron Glenn, I wish we were keeping him around. Aaron Glenn, even with 15 defensive injuries on our team, was still able to somehow make a playoff defense out of the Milkmen and Paper Boys. Shit, Aaron Glenn was the Jets trying to hold people accountable.
Because you would not be on the field with this team if you're going to cause us to lose games.
But it's just unfortunate. Like, I don't think he's a bad coach. It's just the Jets need more than, like, a good head coach. They need, like, an exorcism. Bro, Aaron Glenn said, cannot turn the ball over.
Returning. He loses the ball.
And that he was going to hold that guy to be accountable. Man, they got rid of that guy immediately.
Because you would not be on the field with this team if you're going to cause us to lose games. You're going to cause issues like that. So
he's going to run out of people to hold accountable at this rate. And when we lost, it was not his fault. When we're calling up high schoolers to fucking play in our defense, and we're calling your grandfathers to come play defense, when we're doing goddamn casting calls to come play defense, just picking them up by the bus loads to replace our defense.
Y'all are bringing people off the street to play meaningful snaps and big games. Like,
so it'd be Tuesday, and we just get this is like a busload of new guys dropped off. Thanksgiving at home against Green Bay. Dan's up in a team meeting, and he's saying that this is going to be the most memorable game you guys ever play. Game plan's going to be simple. Defense, just go. I don't care. He doesn't care about nothing. Just play hard. I'm looking to my left and my right, and these are guys who just show up on Tuesday.
What's your name?
Yeah, and I'm just like telling this guy, hey, like this is your landmark. You're good.
Yeah.
Like, run, just go get the ball down.
And our defense still isn't why we lost. Maybe it's why we would have lost to the Eagles, but it's not why we lost to the Commanders. This team accomplishes nothing, has accomplished nothing. Yet every year, people are gassing me up. People are gassing this team up. Let's get somewhere. Brock Purdy's been to a Super Bowl, and they're still trying to call him trash. And then everyone's hitting me online with this fucking... Everyone's talking online. But you guys had a great season. 15 wins. My fucking friends were like, I wish my team had 15 wins. Okay, then you root for this fucking team. You like what's going on so much? Then you watch this bullshit. 15 fucking wins. 15 fucking wins for what? So we can just be a part of JD5's legacy? That's all we've accomplished. There's no t-shirt for that. Let's at least win an NFC championship game. At least then I can wear a t-shirt, be proud of something. And again, I get that we had a lot of defensive injuries, but Washington was not some defensive juggernaut either. We had every advantage that we could have. We had the week off to heal. We played in our home dome. Everyone was saying we were America's team. We were playing a QB in their rookie season, and we didn't even lose because of our fucking deep. Although we did make that one mistake where we had 12 people on the field. I really don't understand how that happens in professional sports.
We got 1, 2, 3, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Miscommunication.
Just pay one guy where all they fucking do is count players coming off and on the field, and then tell the coach to call a timeout. Like, this problem can be solved. $40,000 and a pack of menthol cigarettes. Shit, you could hire any crackhead that could count to 12. You can solve this with an 8-ball of crack. Okay, this shouldn't be a problem on any team ever. At that point, I know our defense was so fucking different. They were busting in guys. We were rotating middle school gym teachers on our defense. Anyway, I'm not mad at our defense. I'm mad at our offense because we shit the bed again. We have all these dances and celebrations we keep inventing in the end zone. How about we invent a playoff win? How about we invent an NFC championship win? And last year when the Pistons were at an all-time low, you know what I said? I said, I still think the Pistons are winning a chip before the Lions. Now look at the Pistons this year. Longest win streak, went to the playoffs, had an excellent time. Meanwhile, the Lions are losing to the fucking Commanders. I didn't even finish watching the game live. After Jared fucking loser threw another pick, I turned that shit off. And then Jared is Mr. fucking Detroit all of a sudden. I can't even drive around this city without seeing his face on a billboard. Jared Goff is good enough for Detroit.
Good enough for Detroit, Jared.
Says who? I can't even believe I went to a fucking Lions game this year. We won by a fucking hair.
They are going. And then Goff falls down, but ball game.
But one thing I will say is that stadium is so loud and so packed. It's just so interesting. The only games that we've lost this year were home games too. All these stats are bragging Lions are the best away team in the NFL. They haven't lost in this many away games. Yeah, because the Lions organization exists to terrorize its fans. It wants you to spend $500 on a playoff ticket so you can go there so we can lose. You know the home field is supposed to be a fucking advantage, right? And I know it's my fault for caring. It's my fault that I care about this team. I wish I didn't care about this team. I wish I had another fucking team that I could care about and just not care about the Lions. But they're the only team that make me feel anything. And all these damn YouTube videos pop up on my screen. The Detroit Lions team is scary. In what fucking way? Please explain to me. What playoff performance have you seen by this team that frightens you? We didn't even have our first fucking playoff win was last year. And we almost lost, by the way, because we couldn't even score in the second fucking half. When we beat the Ravens, everyone was like champion and cheering. Oh, you guys squashed the Ravens. You guys held them back. We only won by 8 points. Is no one else seeing this? We only won by 8 points. And the Ravens aren't good. Like, we thought they were going to be good this year. And that's why, like, it was such a big deal when we beat them. Which really means we should just beat them worse. We haven't beat a single real team. Every real team that we faced, we've lost. One of those teams was 2-3. That team is literally just Patrick Mahomes and friends. You can't name a single wide receiver on that godforsaken team, bro. Who the fuck is Hollywood Brown? Should never struggle in a situation like that. Our defense should never struggle against a situation like that at all. I knew the season was over back in the week 5 when we couldn't beat a single real team. Green Bay, we lost to them. Chiefs, we lost to them. Eagles, we lost to them. I can't even blame the 20 defensive injuries when you have like an Eagles situation where we kept them below 20 and still lost. Our offense should be able to score 20 points at will on any team, on any day. Always. And I know we got hold on this call and got hold on that call. Like, in that Chiefs game, New York literally called it in so they would take back the touchdown even after they said the play was unreviewable. But the whole league gets hoed against the Chiefs. If we want to go anywhere, these are just things we're going to have to overcome. Bro, being a Lions fan is so crazy because you learned rules you never even knew about.
I guess we all do a little research on what exactly went wrong, because my hands were not under center and I was set to begin the play. And as far as I was concerned, I thought that was the only thing I needed to do. They were saying that, I've never heard this, that I was, because of how close I was to the center, that then declares me as a quarterback and then I then can't go in motion. I was only under the impression that it was my hands under center. So that's a new version of that rule.
apparently that offsides thing wasn't offsides because the center moved his head. Well, those niggas moved their whole bodies. So what is this? And then I know Lions fans look at this and like, oh yeah, we got hoed against the Chiefs, and we got hoed against the Steelers, and we got hoed against the Vikings, and we got hoed against the Rams. And it's like, okay, I understand that that's what you want to complain about, but these games should never be this close. The Steelers, Vikings, those, honestly, they're not real teams. I don't believe in them at all. These shouldn't be problems for us. This is just what happens to us when we don't have a baby easy schedule and we actually have to face some competition, you know, like the Eagles, like the Green Bay. Now that they've figured it out, we have to face the Chiefs. And I can't even blame like having a harder schedule because we lost to the Vikings twice. Beat them twice last year. We couldn't beat them this year. Not once. They're worse than they were last year. We couldn't beat them. We played J.J. McCarthy. At the time, he was statistically the worst quarterback of all time. And then that fucking game on Christmas where he had to go against Cuckface Brosmer, who was an undrafted free agent only playing his 6th start. Meanwhile, we have Jared Goff, who was a #1 pick. Guess which one had 6 turnovers? Bro, that fucking Vikings game made me sick to my stomach. It's couldn't get our offense going. O-line not blocking worth a damn. Jared Goof throwing picks. And then after the Steelers game, Jared Goff was a little upset that people were already giving up on the season.
We took some calls yesterday from fans who just don't think it's going to happen for you guys this year. What would you say? Right, I know.
That's awesome. That's awesome. Thank you, guys.
Yeah. Well, what would you say to try and reinstill faith in the people that are...
I don't need to reinstill faith in anyone. You know, it pisses me off a little bit to hear that. But, yeah, you know, we got to win this first one.
Good enough for Detroit. Yeah. This. Trouble again, and to jump on it. Van Ginkel. See what happens here. It looks like Egwalkin, a new set.
I got this.
This is Jared Goff of the Detroit Lions. I'd like to wish you and yours a very Merry Christmas and Happy Holidays.
Thanks so much, Jared Goff.
Yeah, Merry Christmas, asshole. Buddy, you haven't been clutch. The second our season is on the line, you play like crap. Look, the Lions are always going against the refs. That's nothing new. But with that Steelers game, I think it was more that if the script writers are script writing, it's to try and get Aaron in the playoffs. And that's why things are going the way they're going. Because they robbed us and they robbed the Ravens really bad. We should be this good, and we're not. I knew this season was over the second we started having to do calculus to figure out what needs to happen in order for us to get into the playoffs, okay? I shouldn't have to do the Charlie meme for a Super Bowl team. Super Bowl teams just win. They just make the playoffs. They don't have to do this. Winners aren't doing this. So yeah, I'm calling it wraps. I don't even want to address the Bears. I'm just going to assume their season was because of a papal blessing, because the way they're winning these games is fucking ridiculous.
I got this.
Green Giant.
I refuse to believe that the Bears are a real team, but I might have to just believe that the Bears are a real team. Every game where I think they're going to get fraud checked, the Bears go against the Eagles, and I'm like, all right, this is going to prove if the Bears are a real team or not. And then the Eagles lose, and then I just cope and say that, okay, well, the Eagles just aren't a real team, all right? And then they go against Green Bay. Well, Green Bay this year, like, they've been doing really good against good teams and bad against bad teams. So then I'm coping myself into believing that the Bears are a bad team because Green Bay lost, right? So I just can't believe that the Bears are a good team, all right? This is not good for my mental health. I'm going to believe that they are frauds, and every team that faces them and loses is just a bad team, you know? And then that 49ers game, why were they scoring so much? Okay, the 49ers won, and that made me feel like, okay, yeah, but that's not a win where I can go, hey, that's a bad team. I'm sorry, I should rephrase that. That's not a loss where I can go, oh, the Bears suck. They lost to 49ers and they suck because they played so well. Why are they all of a sudden a good run team? I don't even need the answer to that. I don't even need the answer to that. I know we had so many defensive injuries, even more than we had last year. But you know what we said last year? It's all right. We're going to get healthy and try again next year. Now the next year comes and we're even less healthy and our offensive coordinator / identity is gone. Nothing is promised. You have to do your best right here and right now. We shouldn't have lost to Washington last year. We shouldn't have lost to the 49ers the year before. I'm not just going to keep looking at this team year after year and going, oh, it's okay, we'll get it next year. That's sucker shit. I'm not a fucking sucker. You know who does that shit? The Cowboys. And I'll be damned if I become anything like a Cowboys fan. Ooh, and while we're talking about teams that I hate, that Super Bowl was fucking amazing, right? Some people said it was boring because it wasn't a close game, but no, that shit was cathartic. All year, I watched Mahomes play like dick and get bailed out by everything. But not only by his amazing defense, but just by blind fucking love or by blind fucking refs. And Mahomes whines and cries like a baby about every single play.
Loudest call I've ever seen, man. Offensive offsides in that moment, man. Terrible.
This year's Chiefs is the worst 15-2 team I've ever fucked. No 30-point game. If the Lions got to play this team, we would have destroyed them. Sorry. Getting off topic. And the craziest part is they could have been 16-1, but they rested everyone to make sure that the Bengals got eliminated out of the playoffs because the Bengals are the best 9-8 team I have ever seen. They can score 40 and still lose while having the second best pass rusher in the league. It's insane. All year I was waiting for the Chiefs to get fraud checked. All year, just one team get it together, play like some fucking professionals. Then every week I gotta listen to these talking heads say, he's just doing what it takes to win. He's just that good. Hey dickheads, I had him on fantasy. The loser averaged like 13 points a game, fantasy-wise. He threw so many interceptions, and then he gets to that Super Bowl and then proves that he learned nothing from that Brady loss. And in the loss to Brady, he played good. His receivers just sucked. But in the Super Bowl, he got pressured the same way and played worse. He played, going into the third, it was 34-6. Kansas City scored 16 in the fourth, which only happened because the Eagles brought out their third stringers. Could you imagine? It was such cathartic embarrassment to watch all the starters sit down. Meanwhile, Mahomes is out there struggling, trying to figure out how he can score 40 points. Horrendous. Sorry, Mahomes. A good defense and luck only wins you chips when you're Brady. Oh, and I won my fantasy football league, by the way. I only used one rule when drafting. No Lions players. I was not letting those niggas disappoint me on the field and then disappoint me on my fantasy team. On the right side, Lion tickets are going to get cheap again. Same old Lions.
Looking for a real Detroit flavor? Try our special Christmas Detroit turnovers at Goff's Turnovers Bakery.
And for the true Lions experience, don't miss our 5-for-1 turnover pack. Intercepted fresh out of the oven and fumbled immediately to your plate.
Choose your flavor of chaos, the fumble meal or the interception combo. Served with no protection.
The Tigers were the top of the league. We were ahead of every team by like 10 games. And then we lost like 10 games in a row. We could have won 5 and been the top seed. We could have went 5-5 and been the top seed. It's just so ridiculous how Detroit teams find a way to choke. We choked 10 games. Is that even choking? Is that even choking if you're given 5 opportunities to not choke? And then our poor pitchers, bro. We make it all the way to where we make it to. We go into a quintuple amazing 15 innings. We went to 15 innings, and we couldn't get one hit. We pitched perfect. We pitched perfectly, and we couldn't get one hit. This is what I'm talking about where I say Detroit teams, bro. This is the shit that I'm talking about when I talk about Detroit teams. What's even funnier is that the Tigers drafted a Super Bowl winning quarterback before the Lions.